you get up every day and you get to make science fiction movies, your life's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, making a science fiction TV show. I'm going back here to make spaceships and lasers, and you know, that's we just smoke a joint, and make lasers.
Yeah.
That's a pretty.
That's a good life.
Sci-fi movies are actually the biggest movies. You know, those are the big epics that really draw everyone together, and I think really stir people's imagination.
As much as you can, start building relationships with the distributors and sales agents. They'll all give you different criteria, but when you meet that criteria, now you've got a sales outlet. Now when you're talking to an investor, it's not just a great story, it's also like, I've got a market-ready product. So Southbox is my company. There's also another group I think will help filmmakers because it's got like a whole checklist of all these investor type things. It's called AtlantaFilmAngels.com. It's a not-for-profit. It's a group for investors, but if you go there and you click on the producers tab, it has a whole list of the criteria that we're thinking about when we're considering projects. And you can submit projects, and I've gathered all the investors in the region to try to, funnel these projects in front of them in a way that will be maybe more palatable than a bunch of random people reaching out to them directly.
So how did you hear about the film festival?
So I recently moved to Atlanta. I've only been here for about a year, so this is the first time I've heard about it. Heard about it this week. I got posted on Reddit.
So what did you think about the movie?
I thought it was very brave. Most people try to stick into like a box. It felt like it was something that could have been made like in the 70s or like 80s, like the whole like cult cinema.
Yes.
Midnight screening. Got a lot of like Hodorowski, Sun Ra, like all that kind of like vibes from it.
Wow, it was like watching 4D chess. It was levels of like introspection on everything that's current. It's a statement. It kept you hooked.
What has been your favorite short film of the festival so far?
So far, I like I Don't Want to Be Alone. I like Mimeo.
Beautiful Bunkers is my favorite without question. There's something bleak about it, but there's something poetically bleak about it that I can appreciate.
I can't really talk too much about the project, Tau, because it's sort of all under wraps. I can only say what's been put in the press, which is that it's a sci-fi, female-driven sci-fi adventure set in China. It's from the same team that brought you Spider-Verse. So if that's any indication of the fun and cool that we're hoping it will be. Yeah. Yeah.
There's been sort of a recent boom or recent recognition in Asian and Asian American writers in science fiction. Could you maybe share a couple examples and talk a little bit about what you mean by transnational Asian features?
So this is this idea of previous literature and films, and even current literature and films, being kind of white-centric. So these narratives where you have Asian bodies and technologies and philosophies as a kind of background or signifier to say we're in the future. So an example would be Blade Runner. We don't really have main characters who are Asian, but we do have a lot of like neon signs with Chinese and Japanese. We have geisha on billboards, or Doctor Strange, where all the main characters are white, but they go to Asia to get their mystical powers, which they then bring back to mostly American settings. When they're in Hong Kong, it's again a backdrop and not the central feature.
I know my audience is filmmakers and actors and directors and people who are very much interested in story and the technology of the future and how to incorporate these into their stories. I do soft robots, so I'm pretty sure you guys came here looking for the latest and greatest and most technologically advanced, and soft robots tend to look very different from all of these other things. So this is just by its shape and just by its structure, you get that bending motion, but you also get a sense of like how organic kind of like a caterpillar, a really long flat caterpillar. This one also does bending motion,